Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered how could something so vast, so perfectly ordered, ever cease to exist? The stars seem eternal, the galaxies unending, and the universe infinite. But what if all of this, every planet, every sun, every atom, is only temporary? If yes, how will it happen? Will the cosmos fade into silence or collapse into itself? Or will that very end mark the birth of a new creation? From the verses of the Qur'an to the equations of Stephen Hawking, from the visions of prophets to the theories of cosmologists, humanity has long searched for answers to this final question. Stay tight, as I am going to explore every answer in this series. The Qur'an opens the window to a future that human imagination can barely hold. In its verses, the end of the cosmos is not a distant myth. It is a vivid certainty. The ancient stars we see tonight will one day fall like sparks from a dying fire. Mountains will crumble into dust. The oceans will boil and overflow. The sky, once stretched like a blue canopy, will be torn apart. The Qur'an describes that moment not with cold scientific detachment, but with awe and terror, an unveiling of cosmic truth when all veils between creator and creation are removed. The Qur'an says, "When the sun is folded up, and when the stars fall, losing their luster, and when the mountains are made to pass away," Surah At-Takwir. And again in Surah Al-Infitar, "When the sky is cleft asunder, and when the stars are scattered, and when the seas burst forth." Each verse paints the dissolution of the cosmos as if it were a single act of divine will. Commentators like Ibn Kathir wrote that these verses describe not symbolic decay, but a physical unmaking of the heavens. The folding of the sun, termed as kuwirat, implies not extinguishing but collapsing inward, as a scroll rolls back upon itself. Al-Qurtubi saw this as the collapse of all celestial order, the death of natural law as we know it. But the Qur'an goes further. In Surah Al-Anbiya, it declares, "On the day when we shall roll up the heavens like a scroll rolled up for books, as we began the first creation, we shall repeat it, a promise binding upon us." This single verse carries a universe of meaning. What science today calls the Big Crunch, a cosmic collapse of all matter and energy back into singularity, is described here with startling poetic precision. The universe began from a single point, a fact now confirmed by cosmology through the Big Bang theory, and it will end as it began, folded back into the essence of its creation. The philosopher Fakhr al-Din al-Razi saw in this verse a cycle of divine creation and dissolution, where each world ends only for another to arise. Mullah Sadra, in his Asfar Arbaa, interpreted the resurrection not as mere return of bodies, but as a metaphysical rebirth of reality itself, an elevation of the cosmos from material existence to pure intelligible being. To him, qiyamah, resurrection, is the universe awakening to its final consciousness. In Islamic eschatology, the end of the cosmos begins with the blowing of the trumpet, Asur, by the Angel Israfil. As described in Qur'an, "And the trumpet will be blown, and whoever is in the heavens and whoever is on the earth will fall unconscious, except whom Allah wills. Then it will be blown again, and behold, they will be standing, looking on." Az-Zumar 39:68. The two trumpet blasts symbolize two universal moments, death and resurrection. The first blast marks the total annihilation of creation. Time stops. The movement of galaxies ceases. Everything collapses into silence. Then comes the second blast, the rebirth. Consciousness returns, the dead awaken, and the new creation begins. This idea, annihilation followed by renewal, is found throughout Islamic cosmology. The Prophet Muhammad said, "Between the two trumpet blasts, there will be 40. Sahih Muslim 2955. The narrator, Hazrat Abu Huraira, said, "I do not know whether he meant 40 days, 40 months, or 40 years. This ambiguity itself is meaningful. It is time, but not similar to time we know. Don't worry, I explain you in detail. After the first trumpet, the normal flow of time ends. Between annihilation and resurrection, the universe enters a timeless state, so human measures like days, years, or epochs no longer apply. So even if Allah says 40, it could mean 40 heartbeats in a realm beyond physics, 40 epochs in a timeless suspension, or simply a divine phase known only to Him. The Qur'an thus presents the universe not as eternal, but as living, created, growing, aging, and destined to die, only to be reborn. It mirrors human life itself. The Qur'an says, "He who created you the first time will bring you back again." 1751. From dust to consciousness to dust again. The human and the cosmic share the same fate. Qiyamah is not only the day humans are resurrected, it is the day reality itself rises again in a higher form. In Sufi metaphysics, this sequence reflects the eternal principle of fana and wabaka, meaning annihilation and subsistence. All things must pass away to be reborn in the real. The death of the universe, in this sense, is the fana of the cosmos, a dissolving of multiplicity back into the unity of divine being. Some Sufis, such as Ibn Arabi in Fusus al-Hikam, further describe creation as an endless breathing of the divine, the nafas ar-Rahman, breath of the merciful. In each breath, worlds appear and vanish, not in linear time, but in cycles of manifestation. The day of resurrection, then, is not a distant apocalypse, but the final breath of this universe, when the divine inhalation draws all forms back into unity. Ibn Arabi wrote, "The cosmos is perishing every moment and being renewed every moment. The ignorant think it remains." Modern physics oddly echoes this. Quantum fluctuations, constant birth and death of particles, and the idea that what we call existence is a continuous recreation. What the mystic saw as divine renewal, the scientist measures as quantum activity. Now, a shaking question comes. How will it feel when the world ends? The Qur'an gives sensory detail to this final moment. The roar of the trumpet, the sky glowing red, the earth shaking violently, and the graves splitting open. Surah Al-Zalzala 99:12 says, "When the earth is shaken with its final earthquake, and the earth discharges its burdens." Commentators understood burdens as both literal, the dead, and metaphorical, the earth's secrets and hidden truths. The earth itself becomes conscious. In Sahih Muslim, the Prophet Muhammad described the end as coming so suddenly that a man will be repairing his water tank, and the trumpet will be blown. It is not a gradual decay, but an instant divine command. The Prophet once asked his companions, "Do you know what that day is?" and then recited, "On that day, mankind will be like scattered moths, and the mountains will be like fluffed wool." Surah Al-Qariyah. The image is haunting, humanity fluttering aimlessly as creation loses its anchor. The Qur'an's final promise is not extinction, but transformation. The universe will be remade on a different plane of existence, no longer governed by decay, gravity, or time. On that day, the earth will be changed to another earth, and so will the heavens. Surah Ibrahim 14:48. The scholars of tafsir explained this new earth as one without sin, death, or imperfection, a purified field upon which the final reality unfolds. Al-Razi called it Alam al-Jaza, the world of recompense, where forms reflect the truth of their deeds. From the Quranic vision emerges a profound symmetry. The end of the universe is not a catastrophe, but a divine act of renewal. As Allah says, "As we began the first creation, we shall repeat it." 21:104. It is not destruction but return, not loss but completion. In the same way a seed must break for a tree to grow, the cosmos must collapse for eternity to bloom.